Hello and welcome to the Cosmos video channel. We are an online store specializing in cosplay costumes. You are now listening to our original novel, The Extraordinary Werewolf. If you have any interest in cosplay outfits, you can contact us at cosmos.com. Now, let's begin the story. Previously, on The Extraordinary Werewolf, Glenn used the mysterious door in his basement and was instantly teleported far away to Kyladria City. He returned through the portal to find his house intact. Meanwhile, Layla, determined to thank him, tried to find someone to accompany her to the dangerous-sounding Bayek town, eventually settling on her nervous friend, Bonnie.
Layla, don't go.
Bonnie stood anxiously calling out, but finally steeled her nerves and rushed out the door to join Layla. Layla smiled faintly and lowered her eyes.
What is wrong?
Bonnie glared at her, puffing out her cheeks.
I am only worried about your safety. What if you run into danger?
Seeing the girl's conflicted expression, Layla stopped teasing her and changed the subject.
How is your studying going? Our teacher said this exam will be quite difficult.
Bonnie was successfully distracted. She tilted her head in thought and said,
Aside from Elven language and mathematics, I am okay with everything else. I just hope we don't encounter that cursed herbal diagram analysis again. I am sure that is the biggest obstacle to me passing.
Don't worry, Bonnie. I can help you with that tomorrow in class. I have enough experience in that area.
The two chatted, gradually leaving Dude Town. Layla had already inquired about the general location of her destination, and with Bonnie leading the way, she wasn't worried about getting lost. Since there were no carriages traveling to Bayek, they had to walk. This was quite a challenge for two girls their age. As the road grew more secluded, the two began to feel the atmosphere unique to Bayek Town, quiet, eerie. The girls' cheerful chatting on the road turned into cautious silence. Layla felt a little grateful now that Bonnie was with her. Otherwise, she wouldn't have dared to walk any further alone.
I think we should go back. It really feels dangerous here.
Bonnie clutched Layla's arm tightly, shrinking back and glancing around. She kept feeling like something in the surrounding woods was watching them.
It is all right, Bonnie. We're almost there. I can already see the town.
I can already see the town, Layla said, forcing her voice to sound calm, though it was barely a whisper. Hidden behind layers of trees behind them, a single eye was fixed on the two girls, a slight confusion in its gaze. My master said one person, but there are two. Which one is the person my master spoke of? It wasn't just Bonnie who felt watched. Layla felt it too. The moment they stepped into the town, the sensation grew stronger, coming from all directions. The two cautiously looked at the houses in the town. They were very dilapidated and looked completely uninhabited. Yet the feeling of being watched emanating from some of the windows was intense. Layla now almost believed Bonnie's warnings. If some strange monster were to jump out right now, she wouldn't be surprised. Since I am here, I might as well go to the gentleman's house and see. He shouldn't deceive me. Layla made up her mind, and her steps became slightly firmer. Glenn's house was on the outskirts of the town, so they didn't have to walk far. However, before Layla and Bonnie could see Glenn's house, they heard his voice. A strange tune drifted from ahead. Though very faint, it was easily audible in the quiet town.
I think that is his voice, Layla said with surprise.
Layla said with surprise.
The gentleman who saved your mother.
Bonnie asked.
Yes.
Yes. Layla grabbed her friend's hand and quickened her pace, heading toward the source of the singing. Inside Glenn's house. Having just returned from the basement, Glenn was ravenously hungry, so he quickly started cooking. He was confident in his culinary skills. Even with limited resources, he could prepare a few decent dishes. The taste might be simple, but it was far more delicious than what the commoners in this world usually ate. As he worked with the cooking utensils, he unconsciously hummed a melody. occasionally breaking into a little improvised singing. The sounds drifted out the window. The old man next door heard it and muttered, "That restless kid."
That restless kid, so annoying.
He then turned back to his puppy with a smile.
Sweetheart, you stay far away from that fellow.
Glenn had just finished serving the hot dishes when a knock suddenly sounded at the door. He frowned, curious, and went to the door. He opened it just a crack. Looking out, he saw Layla and a strange girl standing outside. When Lila saw Glenn's face, her eyes lit up with joy. She curtsied, lifting her skirt, and said, "Esteemed sir."
Esteemed sir, greetings to you. I didn't formally introduce myself last time. My name is Lila, and this is Bonnie. We have met.
I didn't expect you to actually come. Please, come in.
"Please come in," Glenn said, slightly surprised. He thought they would be too afraid to enter the town. Probably turning back after getting a little way inside. He had only sent the beast out as a precaution. He didn't expect the girls to be braver than he thought. Layla was a little taken aback by Glenn's casual manner. It was the first time she had encountered such informality.
Excuse us.
"Excuse us," the two girls murmured as they passed Glenn. Glenn paid extra attention to Layla's timid companion. She was actually willing to accompany her friend here. They must be very close. Seeing them both inside, he gently closed the door. The slightly worn living room had a faint, not overpowering musty smell. On the wooden table sat hot food, still steaming. Both girls took in the scene.
Sir.
Just call me Glenn.
Mr. Glenn, haven't you had lunch yet? I am so sorry we interrupted your meal. Lila apologized sincerely.
Layla apologized sincerely.
It is nothing. I don't mind at all. But since you've arrived, why don't you join me? Try my cooking.
"Try my cooking." Glenn waved his hand and gestured toward the table. From the moment they met, the young girl had been exceptionally polite, seemingly afraid of displeasing Glenn. He was mildly surprised by this, but put it down to the general formality of manners here. Before Lila could respond, Bonnie's eyes widened with excitement. Layla didn't notice, but Glenn keenly picked up on it. "Prepare to be impressed by my cooking. Feel the might of the foodie empire." Glenn felt a little smug, slightly straightening his posture.
Oh, we couldn't possibly. That would be so rude.
Layla refused repeatedly, but Glenn cut her off.
No, little lady, it is not rude at all. If I say it is fine, it is. Where I come from, inviting guests to eat is the most basic courtesy. I would be very disappointed if you didn't accept.
Bonnie, who had looked slightly dejected when Layla refused, now perked up with renewed hope.
Of course. We won't disappoint you. We'd love to eat.
"We'd love to eat," Layla said, her expression slightly awkward, a flicker of surprise in her eyes. She knew that for commoner families like theirs, ensuring basic sustenance was hard enough. Feasting or inviting guests to eat was generally taboo, and guests would also politely decline to avoid consuming the host's food. Layla wondered how simple and abundant this gentleman's homeland must be to have such a custom.